And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to All Sports Western New York. Your old buddy Bob Kishinsky back with you on a Tuesday night. And boy, do we have a great show for you tonight, because in studio with me, none other than the hockey man, Steve Manson. Folks, get your pad and pencil out, because we're going to have some breaking news, some important stories, a whole insight as to what's been going on with the Bills-Sabres combination. All that's coming up in a few minutes. We'll also take a look at a big event that went on last night at DiPaolo's restaurant. They celebrated 20 years of putting the retail product on the shelf. We talked to a couple important people out there. Also last night, now I was at DiPaolo, so I didn't get a chance. Fred Jackson was in our studio getting ready for the Fred Jackson Show, what's going to debut right after that first game, 7 o'clock Monday nights. And John DeShulo, Mr. Bragging Rights, had a chance to talk to Fred about the current team, the current season, and his third year of the Fred Jackson Show. Let's take a listen.
A lot of big things, I think. We have everybody on our defenses. You know, we got a lot of those guys returning. We got a D coordinator who's just as aggressive, you know, and I think he's going to put those guys in some tremendous opportunities to make plays. EJ's taking his second step. Being in this year in the system for another year is going to help him. You got guys like myself and CJ ready to, you know, shoulder the load in the running game. We've added some key receivers that are going to make some big plays for us, and we're excited about that.
We're excited. You just signed another deal with the Buffalo Bills, another contract, and this is an emotional year, too, with the passing of Ralph Wilson. You had said something very profound at one of those news conferences, so the team's pulling together, and you've got a lot to look forward to yourself.
I do. You know, it was something that I was extremely excited about to get it done, you know, over and out of the way. It gives me something that I don't have to focus on. I can go out and play football, and we got a lot of guys that had an opportunity to meet Mr. Wilson, and anybody who knew Mr. Wilson knew that all he wanted to do was win football games. So that would be a great way for us to honor him and to go out and get into the playoffs, you know, make a run at a Super Bowl title.
And the brand new Fred Jackson Show coming up here on WBBZ-TV. I know Bob is looking forward to it. What can we expect? What are you going to surprise Bob with that we can look forward to this year? Monday nights live at 7.
A lot of fun. You know, we're going to see if the old guy can still keep up. You know, I'll bring in some teammates that are going to be pretty young, so we'll see if the old guy's still with the times and if he can keep up with us.
All right, that's good. You're going to throw down the challenge.
I am. I'm going to see if he can keep up with us.
The old guy? He's the oldest running back in the NFL. He calls me the old guy? Mr. Jackson, bring it on. 7 o'clock Monday nights. We'll see who the old guy is. But speaking of old men, in the studio with me now is Steve. It was right there for me. It was hitting it right off the tee. Steve Manson, the hockey man. And Steve, thanks for coming. You're not old. You're younger than I am, all right?
No.
You don't have to give it. You're older than me?
Yes, I am.
Oh, well, okay. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Steve, it's great to have you.
I just look younger.
Huh?
I just look younger.
You take better care of yourself than I do.
Yeah, right.
And thanks for dressing up for the show,
Yeah.
too.
It's summer.
You're wearing your moniker, your
Yeah,
logo.
it's
That's fine.
summertime,
That's cool.
You know?
Yeah,
Hockey doesn't start for another week.
no, it doesn't. But hockey's been in the news.
Yes, it is.
Now, last week, All Sports WNY, on our website, we broke the story that the Sabres are going to host the 2016 NHL Draft. Coincidentally, the next day or 2 days later, actually, the Sabres came out with the announcement that they were going to host the 2015 and 2016 combine, scouting combine. They're similar, but they're different. But I still stand by the story that they're getting the 2016 draft, to which you say,
I think they will. But it won't be announced for a while yet.
Right.
Normally, and again, the National Hockey League, you know, you never know what they're going to do. But normally, they don't announce those things, the upcoming drafts, until the springtime. And it's just, I feel they're going to get it because I know they're going after every single event. Combine was certainly, they wanted to get something. I'm a bit surprised how much, you know, publicity the Combine got when there's really, it's not a public event. I mean, there's not even any skating involved in the Combine. Now, they may add some stuff, but up to this point, all the years in Toronto, I've been to Combine.
Honestly, I think one of the things that happened was when we came out with the story about the draft, I think they had gotten so many calls about that they decided to turn the Combine into the news. But it's big news from the hotel side of things.
Yes, it is.
Because it'll bring a lot of people, bring a lot of GM scouts to
downtown
Buffalo.
will be packed with GM, scouts, agents, players, family, the whole bit. But it's not unless they do a few things which they're talking about, it's not really something that's open to the public.
If they, you know, when they host the actual NHL draft, though, that's much bigger.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you've got all the family, friends of these kids and media. And
I've been to about, I want to say 10, 12 drafts. in different cities, including 2 of them that were held here.
Yeah.
And they're great. They run 4 or 5 days, and there's stuff going on every single day.
Sabres hosted the draft in 91, 98, and a little known fact for those who may or may not remember, Steve was one of the television hosts with Ted Darling in the 1991 draft on the brand new Empire Sports
That's
Network.
what I was just going to bring up. It was one of the first events that Empire Sports did, and I got the honor of working with Ted Darling and in a tower that built right on the auditorium floor, which was smaller than this table. And Ted and I were jammed up there with a TV camera and this big giant light.
That was actually before I even started Empire.
Yeah, you know what? It was that weekend when I heard you were coming on board. Yeah. It was Rich Bradley back then.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about it. But let's talk about the Harbor Center is obviously the nucleus of what's going on down there. The sense of putting that multi-use facility with a hotel, with the hockey rinks attached to the arena really is it's the linchpin to all of these events.
Oh, there's no question, and it's not just NHL events. I feel that within a year or so they'll announce they're going to host another World Junior, because it works out perfectly. You can have all the major games with Canada and the United States and Russia and everybody in the main building, and then take the Austria Ukraine game over there, you know, one that was going to draw 50 people and put that in the smaller building. It's perfect, the hotels and everything. So you're going to have to see another World Junior. I think there's a very good chance that the NCAA will come back with the Frozen Four. It was very successful here. So that's going to be a great facility down there to attract events like that.
In a couple of weeks, John Coleman's going to take us on another walkthrough. It's almost completed, at least the hockey side of things. And what I'm impressed with is it's basically they're really going after the amateur hockey locally. It's free parking down there if your kid's playing in a hockey game.
You know, it's a situation that they're going to have to work a few things out, but I think it's going to be great for hockey in Western New York. I know they're bringing in you know, they're going to have Academy of Excellence for minor hockey with a lot of instructors. They're hooking up a lot with USA Hockey for bringing in programs and stuff. You know, overall, I think it's going to be a great addition to the local product.
Steve, you sit tight. And we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more Sabres hockey. And we're also going to talk about the Sabres-Pagula-Bills connection right after this.